And 41 is meditation. Look up the documentary on Paramahansa Yogananda for an insight into really how powerful meditation is. This man stayed awake for days at a time just meditating. He had gurus, disciples follow him all over the world, and this was in the 20s. He really popularized meditation and changed the world as we know it. Now, you've heard about meditation. The best way to do it is to go to group meditations first, because then that allows you to connect with everyone else that's doing it, and the atmosphere is really, really peaceful. And it's like walking into a house party where there's already a buzz. It gives you that same boost, but in a different way. Stare at a candle. That will help you have something to focus on, and I'll talk to you later about how to really clear your mind so you don't keep thinking. So write all your thoughts down. Watch my video on mindset. 42 is self-hypnosis, similar to meditation, but it's more of a guide, so you have an objective, so that's to be more confident when talking to people that you don't know. The way you do self-hypnosis, an induction you can do is if you stare at a point. I'm going to look at my speaker and keep my eyes on it with my main vision and focus. I notice three things that I can see. I see the printer, I see my hand, I see my other hand. Then three things you can hear, three things you can feel, while keeping your eyes on there the whole time, just being more aware of your body, what you can taste in your mouth, what you can smell. So you do 3 of each, then you do 2 of each, then you do 1 of each, and all the while breathing slowly and being as relaxed as possible. So even in the voice in your mind, you slow it down. And number 43 is get hypnotherapy, because that will speed up your results much quicker. If you have any kind of psychological issue, anxiety, whatever, get hypnotherapy. It's the fastest, most effective way. There's no side effects, and honestly, you know how they say you only use like 10% of your brain. This gives you access to the rest of it. 44 is visualization. Before I go on to that, put it this way: women go through childbirth just using hypnotherapy, and people have like dental operations and other surgeries just using hypnotherapy as a pain aesthetic. So a little bit of googling will show you some amazing things. Visualization is a secret that all top sports people use. They see out in meticulous detail their physical actions, and they play it through in their mind, and their body does it. So in terms of having more energy, if you plan out your day the night before, always write it down and then just see it go through in your mind, and then what your brain has then got a reference for the next day, so you haven't got to think about it the next morning when your brain is still waking up, and you don't wake up stressed, and you know what you're doing, so you have that reference point for where you're what you've got to do next. If you can't visualize, meditate, and then you'll be able to do it more. It's practice. Where you can get more visual is if you get a pen or piece of paper, run your fingers up and down it like that, and then you start to cross over the feel circuits, what you can feel with what you can see. 45 is use sound. You have monks who have known about the for years and years and years, because it works. It vibrates the inner part of your ears, and it vibrates your brain. We are vibrating at a certain level. Everything around you is vibrating, and that is the secret to life. Quantum physics, it's been proven. So sound is vibration. So if you have get yourself some massive speakers, I mean subwoofers that are huge, if you like big ones, put on some house or techno or good music, preferably if you have upbeat dance music. It will pump you full of vibration. There's no way you can just sit there and be tired when you have that on. It's going to move you, because you're like liquid, right? You're floating about. That is going to pump through you. I can't explain the effects of that. So when you speak about music and people listening through tiny little earbuds like that, and of course they're not going to understand the power of sound compared to some big subwoofers. The certain type of music is important as well. So if you're into screechy, like EDM kind of dance music, or that kind of sound, it messes with your brain, because you have these cycles per second, right? And when you have things in harmony, it all fits together. So you have 60 cycles and 120 cycles. So say you have 2 different sounds in one sound, and that all fits together. Whereas the bad music doesn't. Something will be like 17 cycles and something will be 20 cycles, and it's not in sync, and it messes up your head. If you look at, there's some studies, I forget the name of it, where they get the sand and they play like a resonant frequency, a frequency, and it resonates, and all the sand moves into beautiful little patterns. check that out, because there's a secret about sound that not a lot of people know, and scientists don't understand yet, but it really makes a difference to your brain. Also, silence is important as well. Have silence, go to the woods, and just getting away from everything helps you have silence inside. Download binaural beats as well. Google that, like brainwave entrainment, isochronic tones, and you can just be trying a lot of other stuff, and your forehead's just burning because you've been working. You put on some headphones with this cool like meditation music, and don't just type in meditation music because you don't know what you're going to get. Type in specifically isochronic tones or binaural beats, as they're used by people, they're created by people intentionally to create these states, these brainwave states in your mind that just completely clears everything, and you can just focus on it. If you struggle with meditation, that will take you down deeply as well. 46, get stimulated, whoever excites you, follow that. Don't forget to do the things you're passionate about. 47 is block all negativity. Change the news that you listen to. Don't listen to the right mainstream news, because it's all funded by corporations a lot of the time. So one, it's incorrect or is there for a reason, and two, a lot of it is very negative. Subscribe to stuff like the Anti-Media or Choice and Truth. Good alternative news stories that are done by independent journalists, because they give you the truth first of all, and secondly, it is positive a lot of the time. Just great things that are happening, like regarding new technologies or great acts of humanity that's worth talking about and celebrating. It lifts you up. And like, think about, if there's a murderer, right, in 60 million people, so there's like 20 murders a year in the UK or something, like statistically that's good. Out of 60 million people, that's like 0.0001%. But then what ends up happening is everyone's thinking, oh, everyone's a murderer, everyone's really bad, but they're not. Like, when you speak to most people, they're nice. So they're just trying to sell a news story. So just, you don't want to, especially in the morning, don't read the news first thing in the morning. You want to just pump yourself full, get yourself some book like Chicken Soup for the Soul, get all that good stuff in you, and don't listen to negative people and just anything, because your brain's plasticity, your brain's constantly moulded. So if you're like people that kind of moan, complain and whinge about everything, like, just cut them out. Like, don't listen to it. I know it's hard if you're in the office, but just put some headphones on or something, because subconsciously that's going to be going in. Or negativity is just not great. 48 is language, I'll talk about that later. 49 is anchoring. So taking hypnotherapy example, if you was going to now go out and start talking to people everywhere you go, which is what you want to do in network marketing, and you don't feel confident to do that, you can anchor your state. So I go like this, and I feel good, and I feel confident, and I feel ready, because when I've been in those states, like really buzzing, I've squeezed my fingers, my hands together, my fists, and it's like it pumps me, because I've conditioned that like a Pavlov's dog. So you can do exactly the same thing. So when you're dancing, find yourself just really in a good mood around the house, whatever you're doing, find something, if you pinch here, that you then associate to that feeling. Only use it when you want to get into that mood. Don't dilute it, don't do it too much, and it'll be able to take you into that state when you go to that particular person and say, hi, are you looking to make a secondary income? They do it in hypnosis as well, and that's how you get a transfer of the feeling. So get hypnotherapy, because you don't have to wait until something happens for you to be in like a really good mood, or work you up to a good mood. You go into hypnosis and you'll be smiling and really, really happy and just experiencing your life again. I was so confident when I was doing my books, and then that would take that feeling of you, that certainty and confidence, because you've done it 1,000 times, and map that confidence across. When you anchor it here, I'll probably ask you to do that, and then I'll put the future of you now going and talking to someone you don't know, where you normally feel anxious, and then you take that feeling through with you, and hang on, in your head you're talking to someone, hang on, but I'm normally nervous, but I feel confident. That's how your brain works. You have different pathways, and you just map them across, because your brain can't tell the difference between something that's imagined and something that's real. That's why when you think of your friend falling over in the pub or something, and it's really funny, and you think about it a couple of days after and you're laughing. So yeah, it's just about understanding how the brain works. So cool.